Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us. This is Kerwin and Keith, and we are the Milky Way Ghetto. Okay. No, we are. All right. Anyway, yes, no, we are Father-Son Galaxy. Thank you so much for joining us. That Deathbird, she did not
Racist.
yeah, well, she did not like Earthlings, so she's Earthist. Earthist? I don't know.
Still
Okay.
racist.
Yeah, right. Yeah, yeah. She had a lot to say about the people from Earth. I don't know where she visits. I mean, Earth is a beautiful planet, so I was kind of offended by how she referred to our planet. But anyway,
Somebody needs to send Deathbird to Earth for a little 1 week vacation.
yeah,
Make her
absolutely,
appreciate our planet.
yeah. Charles should just zap her from where she is and to a new planet, and be like, hey, you'll be fine. All right, thank you so much, everyone. Yeah, I know we missed the live stream last Wednesday for the Bad Batch, but I
Yeah,
was
we had gremlins behind the screen.
well, no, hold on.
So the Sentinels and Dr. Hemlock were
Okay.
working together in a co-conspiracy with United Airlines to start.
Or what really happened was, I have a bad cold, had a bad cold. I'm feeling better. Still have a cough, but we're going to get through this. I'm glad to be back. All right. So thank you so much for joining us. We are still getting over episode 5. I mean, that really
I'm
took us for a loop.
debilitated.
Yeah. Um,
Episode 5 was a real gut punch.
it was a real gut punch. So we are here. It's Sunday night. We're going to talk about X-Men 97, episode number 6, titled Life Death Part 2. So we're going to get back to talking about
Life and death.
yeah, we're going to talk about Ororo and Forge. This episode was written by Charlie Feldman, directed by Chase Connolly. All right, so remember where we left off. This adversary. So apparently, this is like some type of nightmare, something out of Aurora's. Yeah, something out of Aurora's nightmare. Like it's a representation of her, and it feasts on her fears.
Yes.
Yeah, and
So,
go ahead, Keith. You got it.
this demon is also voiced by Alison Silly Smith, who does the voice for Storm,
Yep.
which is kind of awesome. I've seen a lot of parallels. Like the old voice actress for Jubilee was voicing the older Jubilee in episode 4.
That's cool.
Isn't
Yeah,
that awesome?
that is awesome. I
Bring
like
back some of
that.
the old actors to
Yeah,
do
right,
their
bring them
own
back.
roles.
Yeah, right, right, right. Yeah. So
So,
there's still value. Mhm. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah. You want to say something else?
I'd like to read my notes.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So, the adversary, as we know, is feasting on Storm's fears, which are becoming more and more powerful, but Storm does not want to let them. So, after episode 4, we already know Ford got bit by that bird demon thingy, and he got infected with some sort of bird demon thingy
Yeah,
venom.
that looked painful.
It is painful.
hmm
So, the venom is slowly killing him. So, what they need to do is go to this tall mountain and scrape the MacGuffin out of MacGuffin and give it to Forge so we can get better.
Yeah, yeah. So some kind of a potion or
Yeah, some sort of cactus juice.
yeah, right. That could heal his wounds. But she's got to get past her fears. And here comes the adversary, and she is really going at Aurora and telling her, "Well, this is what you wanted, right? You didn't want to know. You didn't want the responsibility. You didn't want the power to be Storm.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
you wanted to be human, right? You told Jean, I have always wondered what it would be like to be human.
yes,
Just making a mockery out of Storm.
yeah,
She's like, no, I won't let you. So as luck would have it, the episode previous to this Life Death Part One's part, when Storm went through that machine, it actually worked. She was just too afraid to allow herself to have her powers.
yeah."
So by releasing the demon and getting the cactus juice, she becomes Ultimate Storm. And she gets the appearance she had in the Lego game.
Yes, yeah, yeah. That is a classic Storm. Yeah.
Fun fact on Lego Marvel Superheroes Universe in Peril, which is the handheld and mobile version of Lego Marvel Superheroes, she actually has her white costume as an alternate. It is not in the Steam version.
Gotcha. All right, that's pretty good. All right. Excuse me. So, I want to just talk a little bit more about the adversary. Yeah, so she really doubled down on her fears. Whatever it is that's scaring her, scaring
Yeah.
Aurora, keeping her back.
So the
She
issue
is
is this
yes,
cactus. She has to climb up a really tight space to be able to access this cactus.
yes,
And as we know, Storm is claustrophobic.
correct.
So this is the best possible combination we could have.
I remember when she actually, the adversary locked her in a coffin. Like, oh, how terrifying that is. Of course, coffin can't breathe in a coffin, and you're locked in, you can't get out, and it's a tight
I'm sure you
space.
can breathe for a little bit.
Well,
I think you inhale too much CO2. You have to die of that or lack of air.
well, yeah, right. The idea is,
Fun facts, everybody.
okay. Well, the idea is you don't want to be buried in a coffin, buried alive in a coffin. But anyway, I mean that has to be one of the most terrifying things. I know that's not something that happens often, but you know, for Aurora, that's I mean,
Even worse.
yeah, that was something she had to get over. But you're right. She understood what this adversary is trying to do. And, she said, you know what? No longer. I am not going to be held by my fear. I am going to actually embrace my fear and understand what it is that scare me and stand up to it. You're right. That's when she became a classic Storm.
Narratively, it does kind of make sense. The Storm is so afraid of tight spaces because she can't control what's in those spaces. Like she's powered by the weather, and the weather is always in open spaces. Like when you're inside, you can't feel the rain or the lightning or the winds or thunder. So she has no control over enclosed spaces.
Yeah, right.
Which is why she's so afraid of them.
And that makes sense.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah, and then when you're, you know, um, you know, uh, in charge of the elements. I mean, you've got this vast, space that is endless, and so of course she feels free when she is, you know, mastering the
Element.
yeah, the elements. Yeah, so it was great to see her in her costume. The hair is grown out now. It looks wonderful. Yeah,
I don't know
so
how that's possible though.
yeah,
She did not have that much hair a minute ago.
well, that's true, right?
She had a mohawk a minute ago.
But it was really great to look at. I liked the music that was playing at the time. It was wonderful. And just want to finish up talking about Aurora. She did mention um, the adversary went back and said, "Believe the lie, deny the power." Again, Aurora said no. And then a lesson that she learned is what are demons but are reflections of fears and shame. So something something to really think about. And I understand, we were trying to tie these two episodes, these two storylines that we're going to talk about. Fear is a big factor. So that word fear is going to come up more than once. All right. Q&A.
The adversary gaslit Storm so much it was intense. Her struggle was very well written.
Thank you, Alex. Yes, you're right. Thank you so much. Thank you for all of us who are joining us on YouTube and Instagram and Facebook. Yes, exactly right. Yeah. I mean, she was just telling Storm all these lies and just, yeah,
Filling
you're
her
right.
head with
Yeah,
nonsense.
right. And, I guess any other normal person would have caved in and believed the lies, but Storm did not. So good for her. All right. Great points. As the phrase goes, courage is not the absence of fear, but is being able to face it and move forward. I don't know the exact quote or who said it, but this fits. Yep, we get it, Alex. Thank you so much for that. All right.
Barton too. I love X-Men 96.
Thank you. I believe you're a new person. I've not seen your name before, so thank you for joining us.
Thank you to our Twitch viewers.
All right.
Now,
Cool.
speaking of X-Men 97, Cable needs to fix the timeline.
Does he have to?
Does Gambit have to come back?
Well, does he have to come back?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
He has
So,
to. Come on.
why? Yeah, I think he will, but you want to explain why you think he should come back?
Because Disney has this pattern of making characters our favorites and then killing them. Like they did this to Tech, and I still haven't recovered.
Mm.
And Gambit, and I still haven't recovered.
Mm.
So who's next?
Yeah, but sometimes it does serve the story if a character is gone, that character should stay gone. Sometimes.
You know how comic books work, right?
Oh yeah, they come back all the time.
I mean, like, honestly, that's why comic books work so well.
Mm-hmm.
You can do literally anything. You can have Black Widow and Spider-Man team up to find Gandalf so he can deliver the MacGuffin to Spock and Kurt so they can bring it all the way back to Frodo so he can throw it off to Captain America and then send it to Luke Skywalker to signal the beacon to bring down Voltron, and it'd be fine because it's the comic.
That's right. Anything can happen in the comics. All right. Do we have any more Q&A? All right. So we have, okay. Troy Barton. Storm back with her X-Men Gold uniform. Epic. Yeah, I agree. I really love her style, her uniform. That's the Storm I remember. Okay.
It is?
Mm-hmm. Batman dies. What are you talking about, Alex? Gandalf? Yeah. Lord of the Rings, Marvel crossover. Why not? Anything can happen. If it can happen in the comic books, it can happen on live screen.
You know what's crazy? I'm pretty sure Batman teamed up with Spider-Man at some point.
In the comics?
If it didn't happen, it will.
You know what? I remember a long time ago.
Wasn't it like a Marvel versus DC comic book one?
I don't remember that, but I do remember there was a comic book long ago with Spider-Man and Superman in the comic. Don't know why. Don't know if it was Marvel who released it or DC, but that doesn't happen often. All right. So let me know if you have any other thoughts about Storm's storyline. If not, let's move on to Charles. We were not expecting this, or at least I wasn't. Yeah.
Xavier, voiced by the Red Skull.
Is that the same actor?
Yeah, Roast Mark One.
Oh.
I
didn't know that. Well, I knew Marquand, but I didn't know he was.
There's such a long list of MCU actors that have been hired twice. Like Ryan Reynolds, Gemma Chan, Chris Evans, Michael B. Jordan.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, that's true. Right. Even the voice actors.
Yeah.
How about that? No, I didn't know he was Red Skull. Okay. All right. So we are on this planet. All right. Chandilar is the name of the planet. And it's we see an empire of people
Shi'ar
from
Empire.
Shi'ar Empire. This is the first time I've heard of them, but apparently
they were in the original animated series.
Okay.
So from what I gather, at the end of the series, they took Charles Xavier to go heal him or something.
Yes, right. I think he was not quite sure what happened to him, but he was near death, and they brought him back.
Got shot by Henry Irish.
Oh, is that what? Okay, that's probably what happened.
I could be wrong, but I don't think so.
And then in turn, Xavier helped the people of the people Shi'ar from the Phoenix. Excuse me. And the Empress's brother, Ken, right? All right. So he
it's apparently because there's a mutant character named Dakin, who's Wolverine's son, and Ken was somebody that Wolverine fought.
That's interesting. Okay. All right. So anyway, so now Charles has been hiding in or away on this planet for who knows how long. The X-Men on Earth thinks he's gone, but he just disappears and doesn't tell anybody where they are. So
you really said peace out and left.
So apparently he and the Empress, Lilandra. Yeah, these names.
These people have such exotic names.
So Lilandra, her last name is Lilandra Naramani. So she was first introduced.
She has a last name.
Yeah, she was first introduced in the Uncanny X-Men number 97. That was back in February 1976. So apparently the two of them have a relationship. And at the beginning of this episode, we see her come out and introduce not only her future husband, but the future emperor of Chandilar. And it turns out to be Charles Xavier. And this is, again, I didn't follow the comics too closely, but this is from the comic books.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, of course, the people are shocked like, well, what are you doing?
They're all like, oh,
yeah,
like
yeah.
losing their minds.
And the person who was most upset about this is
The racist bird.
her sister, Deathbird.
Her sister teamed up with Apocalypse to try to kill her. I'm not sure why Lilandra keeps her around.
Well, tell me about that story. What was that in the movies or
No,
the
this
comics?
is in the animated series.
Oh, tell me about that, please. If you don't,
So Deathbird teamed up with Apocalypse to kill Lilandra or something and take over the Shi'ar Empire.
Got it right. So of
That
course,
was the goal.
It's all about power. Her sister is on the throne, and she
once
wants
again, her sister's on the throne. I don't understand why Deathbird is still there. That's like, oh yeah, she tried to overthrow me once, but it's like, I don't mind.
And apparently she did no jail time.
She just said, no, mate, it would be fine.
I was like, this is my sister. Yeah, you know what? I forgive her. I love her. She won't do it again.
Yeah, I forgive that racist bird.
Anyway, so
the rabbit.
She is outraged. She is, what are you doing? Like, why you want to marry this earthling? They're beneath. Yes, this Terran man. They're beneath us. Were you going to mix our blood with this, this low level? I mean, she just laid it out on Charles. And
he's at the bottom of the food pyramid, even on his own planet.
Yeah.
So just having a whole meltdown.
Yes.
Over Charles Xavier.
Exactly. So her name actually is Kelsey Naramani. She, of course, is the sister of the Empress Lilandra. She was introduced in a Miss Marvel comic, number 9, from
Carol Danvers.
Carol Danvers, right, from 1977.
Kamala Khan did not exist yet.
Very good. So what she comes up with, well, you know what? If Charles wants to be one of us, we have to put him through the rite of Nadasha, which is a test.
Yeah, so the random Dasha basically is like, yeah, you better clear all your memories of Earth, or else you can't be of this bloodline.
Right.
So basically, they want him to forget everything, including his X-Men. And Charles Xavier, being too faithful to his X-Men, rightfully so, decides he's not going to.
Yes, exactly. Can you imagine, somebody telling you your history means nothing to us? Like, forget about it.
We don't like you. Get out.
This was ridiculous. So, but Charles, he has a love for Lilandra, so he goes about going through this ritual.
Yeah, and like halfway through, one of the questions asked is like, do you give up any memory of your X-Men?
Yeah.
And he pauses.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden war breaks out.
Yeah. Excuse me, and that is the one. That was a question that he could not answer. Well, he couldn't say yes to. He was not going to renounce his X-Men and forget that they existed. And there's this infighting that takes place between the sisters and
the Empress versus the Squirrel. They're fighting.
Right. Yeah. The Empress guards versus Deathbird's guards, and they're all going at it. And, Charles says, you know what? I'm done with this. Class is in session. All right. Everybody, get to your seats.
Bro, Professor X is the only person I know who would set up a classroom in the middle of a war.
Yeah. And he took them to school. I mean, here they are on the astral plane. I mean, they're sitting in a classroom at desks. And he's got a blackboard behind him. And
Deathbird objects, and he throws an apple at her.
Yeah. And you want to talk about this? So he lays it out and explains to them.
So basically, Professor X is like, what you Shi'ar are currently doing is killing out and merging with all the other cultures that you have absorbed into your empire. You're not letting them breathe. You just want them to be strictly Shi'ar, and their practices are going to die out. Coexistence is messy, is what he says. That's
exactly right. So that's these empires. That's how they get their power, right? That's how they become greater and bigger. Is that they take over
the yes,
the
snake oil racket.
they invoke fear.
What even is snake oil?
Or just people that they have you think they have something to sell, but they're not. They got a ulterior motive. You can't trust them.
But why snake oil?
I don't know why.
And not
Maybe
baby
this.
oil or canola oil or grape oil.
Okay, I don't know. Keith. All right, very good question. But yeah, so so exactly, these are how these empires, like other empires that even in our timeline, what they do is they take over these little territories and then say, hey, you know what? Well, if you want to, live or have the luxury
If
that
you
we have,
wish to live, you
or
better join us.
or have half of the luxury that we have, you have to follow our rules.
The strong arm.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. And some people say, okay, I'll do it. Others say, no, I'm not going to. And they lose their life for that.
Yep.
And then, right, he goes through history and he explains, how these empires just cut the legs out from under these smaller countries or these smaller territories and then expect that, yeah, they're just going to fall in and do anything that this empire tells them to do. And that's not the case. One of the leaders raised his hand and said, well, might is right. I'm sure you agree with that. That's what they teach you on Earth. And Xavier says, well, the rhyme that sells the lie. Rhyme is right. That's a lie, right? That is a lie that we must pillage worth from one another. That for me to be more, you must be less. Exactly. So you got to put somebody else down in order for you to feel better. You ever heard that before?
I have.
And it's absolutely true.
I've seen it executed as well.
People do that all the time, unfortunately. So, and you're right, coexistence is messy. So the point is that we can still coexist. It's not going to be easy, but we can still work hard and realize that we all deserve to be in this space. You may not agree with their religion or the way they live or what they believe in, but you still have to respect people who are not like you. There you go. Preach on, Professor X. I agree with that. Okay. All right. So that was the class. And then all of a sudden we get this, he gets this signal, psychic sensory goes off and he realizes, yes, something happened to his X-Men.
Magneto's alive. I know for a fact that he's alive. Because Magneto was what Charles Xavier, his best friend, one of the first mutants he knew. So naturally, he would have seen Magneto if he was dead instead of Gambit, or maybe both.
Ooh, so you're thinking because it's on Gambit, Gambit is gone.
Yeah.
And not coming back.
I'm not saying Gambit's not coming back. I'm saying Magneto's not dead.
Interesting. Okay. I didn't think about that.
Because they were like brothers. They were thick as thieves.
Well, that's true. If he were going to send someone, Magnus would have been the first person, right? You would think. Yeah. That's an excellent point.
Isn't his first name Eric?
It is. I don't know why he calls him Magnus. Hey, they're close.
Magnus.
Xavier calls him Magnus. Why Magnus? Anyway, they're good friends.
Xavier's illiterate.
It's a nickname.
Magnus.
It's a nickname. He came up with a nickname Magnus. What's up with that? What's wrong with that?
His first name is Eric.
Okay, Professor X is spot on and he gave a great, invaluable, and timely lesson.
None of the letters in Magnus or in Eric.
Okay, Keith.
Not a single one.
I get it. Okay. All right. Hey, that's the man's name. Okay, so good friends. You may have a good buddy who'll come up with a nickname that sticks.
Yes,
and he'll call you.
I too love to call my friends TD Bank. Well, their first name is Steve.
Okay. Are we making fun of the professor? All right, come. All right. Now,
PhD.
Professor X?
Yeah.
I don't know his background. He's very smart. We know that.
I hope he has a PhD.
Okay. Anyway.
Bruce Banner has 7 PhDs.
People can call him whatever he wants. Okay. All right.
My mom was PhD.
Exactly. Dr. Manning Yard there. So now he says it's danger. something happened, and of course we know what happened on the
The
Genosha
Genosha Massacre.
last episode. And to also connect the other storyline, Storm also realizes that there was a problem because when Forge turned the TV on and saw the news, oh man, big time, big deal.
So basically, what they're doing is they're bringing all the X-Men together.
Yes, yes, right. So,
and in ways that actually make narrative sense.
Okay, yeah. This is
Isn't it always funny when characters turn on the TV to gather critical information?
Yeah. Now, from what I understand, next episode 7, I believe you're right. It's going to feature Cable. Is that right?
It is.
I thought you mentioned that Cable was going to return, and maybe he would be the one to figure out the timeline, or if he has to fix the timeline.
Yeah.
I think that might happen. Excuse me. I think that might happen in the next episode. Okay. I thought you knew that.
I looked up and found that Magneto's birth name is Max Eisenhart, and he later went by the nickname Magnus. So what happened to Eric Lensher? Where did he get that from?
Huh.
What does it mean some real names? Like, where did Logan come from? Isn't Wolverine named Jackson Howlett?
Maybe that name that Alex that Alex had was the birth name, and then
so he changed his name.
Yeah. So I can't.
Eric Lensher.
Right. Exactly. Sometimes you have people who don't want to go through their life with their birth name because it's maybe too ethnic, or like people can tell, oh, he's German, or he's this, or she's that. So they change it to something else, or they don't like their name. Yeah, like actors do that all the time. Yeah. I mean, I don't have an example.
Jamie Foxx.
There you go. All right. Do you know what his birth name is?
No.
Okay.
Which is kind of the point, I think.
Well, how'd you know? Why did you just come up with Jamie Foxx?
Because people put YouTube compilations of actors who changed their
names. Right. I think I remember now. It's Eric Bishop. It has nothing to do with Jamie Foxx, right? But that's the name he chose.
Because I too like to call friends who are named.
Anyway,
I too like to call friends who are named Thomas Stanley.
Let me know if you have any comments about the Charles Xavier storyline. I thought it was fantastic. I was not expecting to see Charles, but we know he's alive, all right? And we don't know he's very angry too. So we don't know what Professor X is capable of. All right.
Hopefully Professor X isn't going to get anticlimactically killed by the Scarlet Witch like last time.
Oh boy. Okay, yeah, that movie. Let's not talk about that movie.
Anybody else remember that? That was such a weird scene.
We don't have to mention the name of that movie.
It's like Scarlet Witch just kept developing new powers.
Mm-hmm.
Like a quick rant about Multiverse of Madness.
Oh, that name. Okay, go ahead.
Completely unrelated.
Yeah.
What was Scarlet Witch's goal? Like, her goal...
By the way, we're going to spoil this movie if you've not seen it already.
We're going to spoil the living daylights out of this movie. So, what was her... I know her goal is to get her children.
Yeah.
But the Illuminati had nothing to do with it.
Okay.
So, also...
Why did she take out the Illuminati?
Also, Reed Richards, smartest man alive, and also the man with the biggest mouth. Dude said, "Oh yeah, Black Bolt he'll take you out with a single whisper." And then Wanda's like, "Oh yeah," and then she seals his mouth. Yeah. Physically alters the structure of his face without even using gestures. She literally speaks words, and in the next shot, Black Bolt has no mouth. So that's
right, Alex. We don't talk about Multiverse of Madness, just like Bruno. Go ahead.
So she's able to manipulate people without having to even exert any force. It's not like she was winded after this because she went and just took out 4 more Illuminati members after that. She had no cooldown and no chill whatsoever. So, how did Captain Marvel get KO'd by a literal pole? Like a metal pole. Yeah. She could have put her fist out and crushed it. She's also Captain Marvel. So I really feel like a pillar would, if anything, scratch her at the very most.
Yeah, Keith, I don't have an answer for that movie. I don't know what to tell you. I didn't write it. But Reed Richards could come off as arrogant, So I think he did talk too much and he put himself in danger.
Like
And
in the
but
5
that's what
lines he
happens.
had, he
Yeah,
talked too much.
yeah, right. He's arrogant. He can be arrogant. All right. So
Also,
Chris Petty, thank you, Chris. Chris is asking any thoughts about Sinister and who he's working with. I don't
I
know.
don't think
Go ahead.
Sinister's really working with
I
anybody.
was about to say
I
something.
think
Yeah.
Sinister is on his own. Now, there was that shot in the opening of Master Mold creating Nimrod, but I don't know. Like, one of my theories is that they're gonna do what they did with the Flash and bring back the whole Rogues Gallery of villains, and then bring back all the Rogues Gallery of heroes,
Uh,
and then have them fight just like in the intro, like when they're running at each other from each side. Because now that we have Professor X back, and Magneto will arguably come back as a villain, just like he did in the original Genosha arc from the comics, then we can have Magneto assemble a team of all the mutants that are on his side, and then Charles will band together all the X Men, like Cable and Gambit, Nightcrawler, maybe even like some unknowns like Leech, Iceman. I'd love to see him. Um, and then they fight each other. Like one's fighting for damage control and one's fighting to do the most damage to the humans who did this to them.
okay.
Should be awesome. You know, get Sabretooth in there, get Mystique in there, get Sinister, Apocalypse.
Wow.
And then, you get like Forge, Storm, Cyclops, Wolverine, Phoenix. Like Jean should merge with Phoenix for this final fight. Yeah, that would like be awesome.
Well, and that brings us back to the end of the episode, right? So who is behind all this? Who is behind the destruction on Genosha? And we see Boulevard Trask. Okay, remember that name because he was the person. He's a scientist. He created Trask Industries. He is behind the creation of the Sentinels.
Yeah.
So
So
go
what
ahead.
Sinister did
Mhm.
is take Bolivar Trask's DNA and use it to create the Master Sentinel. His goal is to create a pure bloodline, which I don't think makes sense. I thought Sinister's whole point was that he would like splice mutant DNA to make himself more powerful. So by cleansing out multiple mutants at once, he's not really making a pure bloodline. He's just removing assets he can abuse. Like, suppose there was an all powerful mutant who lacked invulnerability that just got absolutely bodied by the Sentinel. He could have had that DNA and became even more powerful, but because he destroyed Genosha and presumably that mutant, he'll never get that power.
That's a good point. Yeah.
They did also get crisp like potatoes, so
Okay. All right.
no shot of getting DNA.
Well, that's a good point. Right. Yeah. We don't exactly know what Sinister's up to, but you're right. He is it's something about the mutant's DNA, that makes him, it brings invulnerability for him, so he's really after the X-Men. All right. So Trask is running down the street. And just like what you said, he says, I did what you asked. I gave you my DNA to access Master Mold. And then the word fear comes up again. Sinister says, have no fear as long as you put your faith in Sinister. And I agree with you that Sinister, I don't know if he's working for anyone else. I think he is going to be placed in a position to be the baddie. I wouldn't be surprised if we see Sinister very soon in live action. But yeah, it seems like Marvel is leaning towards Sinister as the next bad guy.
Just realized I said something really stupid. I said Magneto should team up with Sinister.
Well, hey, anything can happen, right?
No, well, like
Okay.
maybe what they could do is like a Lego Marvel superheroes thing where the villains and heroes team up together to take on the big bad.
Okay.
It's like they did that with Galactus, like they had Doctor Doom in there, the Fantastic Four, the Avengers, Spider Man, Venom, the Sinister Six, the Wolverine, Jean Grey, Cyclops. They were all in there.
Okay.
So maybe they could do that, which would be awesome. Speaking of which, Spider Man is in this universe? And Captain America, too. There's like the X-Men animated universe happened at the same time as a bunch of other shows. So they're all in the same universe.
So you think we'll see cameo appearances?
Well, yeah, Captain America. Apparently, his shield is in a trailer.
Yeah, and which
I don't know what
I
the
didn't catch that, but
I don't know what the thing with Marvel is with putting shields in trailers to spoil something.
mhm,
Like they did it with Captain Carter. You remember that one shot where she throws the shield and Doctor Strange dodges it?
mhm.
I really don't know why that was in Multiverse of Madness because
We're still
it
talking about
like
that
just
movie.
makes no sense.
Okay.
All right, I'm gonna shut up about Multiverse of Madness.
Yeah. All right. Well, anyway, so that is episode 6. This was a very good one. Not sure.
Got the theorist juices flowing.
Yeah, yeah. Let me know if you have any other comments regarding the episode.
Yeah, got all 2 billion of my neurons firing.
Yeah, I don't know what's going to happen next week. This is what I'm hearing, that maybe this next episode is going to be about Cable, but we don't know. All right. So we missed last Wednesday's live stream, right? We do the Bad Batch live stream. We're supposed to review episode 12. So what we're going to do this Wednesday is we're going to review 2 episodes, episode 12 and 13. All right. So we can't wait to
Now,
get back.
wait a minute. What does 14 come out?
14 would be the week after this Wednesday. And that's the final episode.
15 is the final episode. What?
No, I think there's only 14 episodes.
There's 15.
There's 15?
Yeah.
Did I lose count?
Yes.
All right, wait a minute. Let me see here. So are we reviewing? So we're reviewing. No, I have 12 and 13. Okay, I have to look into
Wait, can I see it?
Yeah.
Let me have that.
Yeah, I thought there was only 14 episodes instead of 15. But all right, let's go to Q&A. What do we have? Do you think Captain America will show up and will it be a Captain Ford alongside
Yeah, so Bad
Wolverine?
Batch Season 3, Episode 15 is called The Cavalry Has Arrived.
Episode 15.
Yes.
I must have lost track. Okay, all right.
So this is episode 14, right?
Yeah, I guess so then. So 13, you're right. Okay, so 13 we missed last week. 14 is coming up, so we're going to be reviewing 13 and 14. My apologies. Okay, you want to read this question? We were just talking about Captain America.
So, do you think that Captain America that will show up will be a cap and fought alongside Wolverine in World War II? Wolverine was alive during World War II?
Yeah, I don't know.
I didn't know. Well, how old? Well, I mean, if he was born in like 1940, that would make him like 57, because this takes place in 1997, I think. So,
yeah, well, that would make him as old as Captain America. We know that Cap is, from another time.
So is Captain America always defrosted in 2011?
I don't know. That's a good answer. That's a good question. Alex, I don't know the answer to that one. All right. Yeah, but we did hear that Captain America may be in this season. I don't know how.
You know what kind of sucks?
What's that?
The fact that every MCU movie used to take place on the day and year that it released, and now it doesn't because of the 5-year snap gap.
Mm-hmm. All right, yeah. So apparently there was a comic book where Wolverine and Cap fought in World War II. All right, yeah, we gotta look into that.
I actually really have some great ideas for Phase 5. Marvel, like I'll help you.
Please. All right. Well, okay.
I have really great ideas.
Right
I'm
down.
not joking. I'm dead serious.
I believe you. No.
I literally wrote notes for an episode where I have like the ideal MCU timeline up to 2030. I'm so good at this.
All right. Yeah. You don't want to give away your idea. Hold it. But just make sure you have it written down. And
you can get another 6 movies out of Tom Holland.
Oh my goodness! Oh, you want to keep Tom Holland working? All right. Okay.
He got paid like $10 million for No Way Home.
That's pretty nice. He deserves it, right?
Okay. Well, I mean, good actor in a bad movie. Stacked cast.
Oh, okay. All right.
Stacked cast. Great people.
That is not your favorite movie.
They're all good actors in their own films, but No Way Home did not work.
That's another story. You have to see Keith break down the 33 MCU films.
A review of No Way Home.
I hope not.
In depth. So I can just cry and whine about
I don't know.
That's a good idea. Like in that movie.
Okay. All right. So we got some things that are coming up. All right. We know May the 4th. If you're a Star Wars fan, this is a big day.
It's
A
also
lot
Free
going
Comic
on.
Book Day.
Yes, excuse me. Along with many other things that are happening. May the 4th, the Star Wars fan community is set to unite once again for Podathon 2024, an all-day marathon event to support the Make-A-Wish America. Hosted online at thepodathon.com, this fourth annual fundraiser aims to make dreams a reality for children facing critical illnesses.
Whoa, that is really soon.
Okay.
Oh.
What do you mean? May 4th?
Yeah.
It's
like
it's close. So, okay, don't panic. All right, starting at 9 a.m. and continuing until late evening, Star Wars enthusiasts, celebrities, and content creators will join forces in a live stream extravaganza dedicated to raising funds for the Make-A-Wish Foundation. Throughout the day, viewers can tune in to enjoy content from a dozen of the most popular Star Wars fan creators while having the opportunity to contribute directly through the Podathon Make-A-Wish online platform. Every donation received will directly benefit the foundation. And you want to read the list of the content creators? Here you go.
So, we have Tarkin's Top Shelf, Darth Chaka, sounds delicious, Diana the Fourth, Roaxium, Relatable Nerds, Virtual Cantina Network, Thank the Maker Podcast, Full of Sith, Yub Nub, Around the Galaxy, and us!
FATHER.SON.GALAXY. We will be there.
So, here are some of the celebrity guests that are already announced.
So far.
Paul Sun-Young Lee and Vanessa Marshall, Pablo Hidalgo, and Matt Martin of the Lucasfilm Story Group.
Okay.
More guests to be announced soon. So
Yes.
if you want to donate, go to thepodathon.com.
Yes, exactly. So once again,
all proceeds go directly to Make-A-Wish.
Absolutely. So that is on May 4th, Saturday, May 4th. Okay. We'll talk more about that. Fan Expo Philadelphia. All right. We live in the Philadelphia region. Fan Expo is coming this year, and it's also the same weekend. So that's going to be big. We are fortunate enough to have a panel on Saturday, May the 4th. We're going to be celebrating the 25th anniversary of the Phantom Menace. So that should be
We
cool.
will be there at 10:45.
Okay. All right.
Are not supposed to say that?
No, well, that's fine. Yeah, that's true. That's the time we'll be there.
As of right now.
Yeah, I don't think that will change, but yeah. So if you're an early bird, yeah, come on and check us out. All right.
Yeah, get your Dunkin' Donuts coffee on the way. Stay on.
Now, okay, why don't you read off this list of people, because this is a fantastic. I can't believe how many celebrities are going to be there representing Star Wars. Okay, I'll go through. All right. So here's are the guests that are expected at Fan Expo Philadelphia. We got Hayden Christensen, Rosario Dawson, Natasha Lou Bordizzo, Iman Esfandi, Danny Trejo, Gina Carano, Alan Tudyk, Cameron Monaghan, Ashley Eckstein, Dee Bradley Baker, Matt Lanter, James Arnold Taylor, Vanessa Marshall, Diana Lee Anasanto, Emily Swallow, and Dennis Lawson.
I'll tell you what. I'm going to walk up to Hayden Christensen with my Captain Rex helmet on and my Darth Vader lightsaber, and I'm going to say, "Are you missing something?" and then show him the lightsaber. Maybe I'll get him to sign it.
I think that would be awesome.
I'm going to need to get paid before that. I got to pay for that already.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Like $100,000.
Alex, thank you. Have fun at the panel. Will you be recording and posting the video later on? We hope so.
I do.
Yeah, that's the plan. We're working with a new crew this year, so we just have to make sure.
We gotta make sure
everybody's on the same page. Yeah. But we'll keep you posted. Okay. So that also Tales of the Empire, 6 episodes dropping on May the 4th.
So we're just like back to back to back.
Yeah,
like our theater's running a Skywalker Saga marathon.
Yeah, that too.
For a full day. So
we were fortunate.
There's that.
Yeah, we were fortunate enough that our movie theater, our local movie theater, was one of the ones chosen.
Out of 13.
That's incredible. Out of the entire country?
Apparently.
Yeah. Who will be showing all 9 Skywalker films back to back, starting on Friday, May 3rd at 8 p.m. Okay. So we don't have the details yet.
Almost sold out. There are like 3 seats.
Okay, I got you. They're probably in the front.
They're not actually.
Really?
They're on like the side and one close to it.
I don't know. Well, okay. Well, maybe we can sneak in. We'll see. All right. We may be there.
There are always no shows.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
you never know.
In like an hour or so late. I've seen all of them, not missing anything. And just be like, and take some seats. Please do not actually do that though. That for legal purposes, that was a joke. Do not steal people's seats at a movie theater.
We would never do that, right?
You would never.
No, I would never. No, neither would you.
Once again, I'm legally obliged to say do not do that.
Okay. All right. So more to come on what's happening on May the 4th, but we will be back on Wednesday to review 2 episodes of The Bad Batch. If you have any final,
Whichever they may be.
yeah, right. If you have any questions,
That was a funny sound.
yeah, funny. I was in the middle of a laugh. If you have any questions or comments, drop them in the chat. We're gonna finish up. While we're waiting, Keith, where can people find us?
You can find us wherever you get your podcast, socials, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, at FATHER.SON.GALAXY, website, FATHER.SON.GALAXY.com. Please check out our merch store, FATHER.SON.GALAXY.com. Donate to our Patreon page, patreon.com/FATHER.SON.GALAXY. And website, FATHER.SON.GALAXY.com. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, that is it, everyone. So,
Money, money, money.
yes. All right. So a lot going on in the next few weeks. We will keep you posted. But we're scheduled for Wednesday. Once again, we're going to talk about the Bad Batch. All right. So until next time, take care, and we will see you again.
All right, I gotta go help Batman deliver the thing to Gandalf to send it to Iron Man to beam it up into space.